Are we living in the final days? The world seems to be in chaos, natural disasters, political upheaval, and rising tensions across the globe. Wildfires rage across continents, turning skies a hazy red. Floods sweep through cities, leaving devastation in their wake. And the very air we breathe grows hotter, a stark reminder of our changing climate. But what if this isn't just a series of unfortunate events? What if it's all part of a much darker, ancient prophecy? In today's video, we're diving into the chilling predictions of Nostradamus, a man whose visions of the future have haunted the world for centuries. His cryptic quatrains, written over 500 years ago, seem to foretell events with uncanny accuracy. Could the year 2025 be the year that his apocalyptic prophecies finally come true? Stay tuned, because what we uncover may shock you. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into history's most mysterious prophecies. Nostradamus warned of a powerful leader who would rise to power in the final days of humanity, someone whose influence would bring about unimaginable chaos and destruction. Could this be the shadow looming over our future, a figure from the very pages of prophecy? In Century 8, Quatrain 77, Nostradamus writes, "The Antichrist very soon annihilates the 27 years his war will last." Many believe this prophecy points to the rise of an authoritarian figure, a leader who could escalate conflicts and even bring about a world war. But who could this ominous figure be? Is it a single individual, a charismatic demagogue who seizes control through manipulation and fear? Or could it be a collective force, a shadowy organization pulling the strings from behind the scenes? The world has always grappled with power, with the seductive allure of control. And in our modern age, with technology amplifying voices and blurring the lines between truth and fiction, the potential for manipulation is greater than ever before. With growing global tensions and the rise of populist leaders across the world, could we be witnessing the early signs of this prophecy? Are we seeing the seeds of division being sown, the foundations of trust eroding before our very eyes? The world watches, holding its breath, as leaders clash on the global stage. Agreements crumble, alliances fracture, and the language of diplomacy gives way to the rhetoric of threats. Is this the prelude to a global conflict, the storm gathering on the horizon? Could the year 2025 be the moment the Antichrist figure begins to take hold, leading the world into a devastating conflict? Or are we simply projecting our fears onto a complex and unpredictable future? The answer, my friends, remains shrouded in the mists of time. Nostradamus spoke of a great war, one that would engulf the world, leading to widespread devastation. In Century 9, Quatrain 40, he wrote, "The sky will darken and the earth will tremble, a war will break out, and all will be disassembled." Imagine a world consumed by conflict. The skies choked with smoke, the air thick with fear, cities reduced to rubble-strewn ghost towns. Could today's tensions with superpowers be the beginning of this final war? Are we witnessing the early tremors of an earthquake that will shatter peace? The world watches with dread as these titans circle each other. Cyber attacks cripple infrastructure and the threat of nuclear annihilation looms. With advanced nuclear arsenals and cyber warfare, a global conflict might be closer than we think. The tools of destruction have never been so readily available. Could Nostradamus have seen the escalation of geopolitical tension leading to total war? Did his visions reveal a future where nations clash in a final struggle for dominance? Or is this just the natural progression of history, a cycle of conflict and resolution? Are we destined to repeat the mistakes of the past, or can we break free from this destructive spiral? The answers lie in the heart of human nature, our capacity for both great love and unimaginable cruelty, our ability to build and to destroy. Only time will tell which path we will choose. Chapter 3. The Great Flood. Could climate change trigger a global catastrophe? Another chilling prophecy from Nostradamus revolves around the Great Flood, an event so catastrophic that entire civilizations would be submerged beneath the waves. In Century 2, Quatrain 46, he wrote, "The river will overflow, submerging all. The great flood will drown the land. leaving none at all. With climate change causing more extreme weather events and rising sea levels threatening coastal cities, this prophecy seems eerily relevant. Imagine a world where the oceans rise up, swallowing entire coastlines, where cities that once stood as beacons of human achievement are reduced to underwater ruins, silent monuments to our hubris. Could 2025 be the year we witness a massive flood or series of floods that submerge entire regions? The signs are all around us if we're willing to open our eyes to them. Glaciers, once thought eternal, melt at an alarming rate. Sea levels creep higher inch by agonizing inch. And storms, fueled by the warming oceans, grow ever more powerful, lashing the coasts with unprecedented fury. The science is clear, our planet is changing. But is this prophecy a warning that we've ignored for too long? Have we failed to heed the wake-up call, the desperate pleas of a planet in peril? The Earth is a delicate balance, a complex web of interconnected systems, and we, with our insatiable appetite for consumption and our disregard for the consequences of our actions, are pushing that balance to the brink. But it's not too late. We still have time to change course, to avert the worst of the coming catastrophe. The choice, as always, is ours. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we be swept away by the rising tide? Chapter 4. The Fire from the Sky Nuclear Destruction. Nostradamus also spoke of fire from the sky. Many believe this to be a reference to nuclear warfare. In Century 10, Quatrain 72, he wrote, "Fire from the sky will fall, the cities will burn, and the world will fall. Imagine, if you dare, a blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns. The air crackles with energy, and a mushroom cloud rises from the horizon, casting a long dark shadow over the land." Could Nostradamus have predicted the possibility of nuclear war? Did he foresee a future where our technological prowess becomes our undoing, where the very weapons we create to protect ourselves become the instruments of our destruction? As tensions between nuclear-armed nations continue to escalate, the fear of a devastating attack grows. The doomsday clock ticks ever closer to midnight, a stark reminder of the precariousness of our existence. Could 2025 be the year when this fire from the sky is unleashed upon the world? The year when our hubris, our inability to find common ground, leads to the unthinkable? The power to destroy is now within the grasp of multiple nations, each with its own agendas, its own fears and ambitions. And in a world riven by conflict, where mistrust and misunderstanding run rampant, the potential for miscalculation, for a single spark to ignite a global inferno, is all too real. We live in a world of unimaginable possibilities, both wondrous and terrifying. The future is not yet written, but the choices we make today will determine the course of human history. Will we choose wisdom over recklessness, cooperation over conflict? The fate of humanity hangs in the balance. Chapter 5. The End of an Age, the Final Collapse. The final prophecy from Nostradamus paints a picture of the ultimate collapse. Society as we know it falling apart, leaving behind a broken world in ruins. In Century 10, Quatrain 74, he wrote, "The end will come not with a bang, but with a whimper, leaving all to hang." Imagine a world where the systems we rely on crumble around us, where governments collapse, economies falter, and the very fabric of society unravels. This is the slow, creeping apocalypse, the gradual decline into chaos and despair. Could we be witnessing the slow unraveling of the global order? Are the cracks in the foundation widening, the tremors of instability growing stronger with each passing day? With increasing political instability, climate change, and economic inequality, are we headed toward a complete societal collapse? Are we sowing the seeds of our own destruction, one act of greed, one act of indifference at a time? The gap between the haves and the have-nots grows wider, resources dwindle, and competition for what little remains intensifies. Trust erodes, replaced by suspicion, fear, and a desperate scramble for survival. Perhaps Nostradamus foresaw the gradual decay of civilization, rather than an instant catastrophe. A slow, agonizing decline marked by dwindling resources, social unrest, and the loss of faith in the institutions that once held us together. But even in the face of such bleak predictions, there is still hope. For we are a resilient species, capable of great ingenuity and compassion. We have faced challenges before, and we have emerged from the darkness stronger, wiser, and more united. The future is not predetermined. It is a canvas yet to be painted, a story yet to be written, and we, the inheritors of this fragile planet, have the power to choose our own destiny. Are we living in the final days? The signs seem to be everywhere: wars, floods, fires, and the growing threat of global destruction. But are these just coincidences, or is Nostradamus' vision of the apocalypse truly unfolding before our eyes? As we approach 2025, we must ask ourselves, are we prepared for what's to come? The world watches, holds its breath, and waits. Will the prophecies of Nostradamus come to pass? Or will humanity find a way to avert disaster and forge a new path forward? What do you think? Is the world on the brink of collapse, or are these just baseless fears? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos exploring the mysteries of the past, the present, and the future.